There are places in this world that are not supposed to exist. Places that don't appear on any map. And if you ever find one, you shouldn't go inside. It started with a normal night. A security guard named Daniel was doing his usual patrol. The city was quiet, almost too quiet. At around 2:12 a.m., he noticed something strange. A building standing at the end of the street. But there was a problem. That building was never there before. Daniel had worked in that area for over 3 years. He knew every street, every corner, every building. But this one, it felt wrong. The lights inside were on, but there were no cars outside, no people, no sound. Daniel stood there for a moment, just staring at it. Something about the building made him uncomfortable, but his job was to check everything. So, slowly, he walked toward the entrance. The door was slightly open. No lock, no security system, nothing. He pushed the door gently. It opened without making a sound. Inside, there was a long hallway, dim lights flickering above, and doors on both sides. Daniel stepped inside, and the moment he did, the door behind him closed. He turned around quickly, tried to open it, but it wouldn't move. Locked. Daniel pulled out his flashlight. The hallway looked endless. The walls were plain, no decorations, no signs, just doors. He walked toward the first door. Slowly, he opened it. Inside was a normal office. A desk, a chair, a computer. But the computer was on. The screen showed a video. Daniel stepped closer, and that's when he realized the video was showing him, standing in the hallway. Daniel froze. He slowly turned around. The hallway behind him was empty, but the screen still showed him standing there, not moving. Daniel backed away from the room, closed the door quickly. His breathing became heavier. "This isn't normal," he whispered. He continued walking down the hallway, faster now, but something felt wrong. The hallway was not ending. He kept walking and walking and walking, but the exit never appeared. Daniel checked his watch. 2:18 a.m. He walked for what felt like at least 20 minutes. He checked again. 2:19 a.m. Time was barely moving. Then he noticed something else. Every door he passed had a number: 101, 102, 103. But after 120, the numbers changed. 121, 122, then suddenly 999. Daniel stopped. That shouldn't be possible. He turned back, but the hallway behind him was gone. Now there was only more hallway. And then he heard something. Footsteps coming behind him. Slow, heavy, getting closer. But Daniel knew one thing. There was no one else in that building. Or at least, there wasn't supposed to be. The footsteps were getting closer. Slow, heavy,
echoing through the hallway. Daniel froze, his flashlight slightly shaking in his hand. He turned around slowly, but the hallway behind him was still empty. The footsteps stopped. Complete silence. Daniel whispered, "Hello." No answer. But then, from somewhere far down the hallway, a door creaked open. Daniel quickly turned toward the sound. One of the doors was slowly moving, opening by itself. Daniel walked toward it, carefully, step by step. The door was now fully open. Inside was another room, but this one was different. There were no desks, no chairs, just walls covered in screens. Every screen was on. Daniel stepped inside, and then he realized something terrifying. Every screen was showing him from different angles, standing in the room, walking in the hallway, even moments from a few seconds ago. But then, one screen showed something else. Daniel walked closer. On that screen, he saw himself, standing completely still in the hallway. But behind him, there was someone, a tall, dark figure, standing just a few feet away. Daniel's heart started racing. He slowly turned around, but there was no one there. He looked back at the screen. The figure was closer now, right behind him, almost touching him. Daniel quickly stepped away from the screen, but the image didn't match reality. The figure kept getting closer, on the screen only. Daniel rushed out of the room, back into the hallway, breathing fast, heart pounding. "This place isn't real," he whispered. He started running, down the hallway, trying to find an exit. But the hallway kept repeating. Same doors, same lights, same silence. Daniel stopped suddenly. One of the doors looked familiar, very familiar. Door number 101. Daniel stepped back slowly. That's impossible. That was the first door he opened. He had just walked forward for several minutes, but now he was back at the beginning. Daniel slowly opened door 101 again. Inside, the same room, the same computer, the same screen, still on, showing the hallway. But this time, something was different. On the screen, he saw himself standing outside the building, looking at it, like he never entered. Daniel's face went pale. That's not possible. The screen showed him walking toward the entrance, opening the door and stepping inside. Daniel stepped back slowly. If that was happening on the screen, then who was he? And then suddenly, the screen went black. All the lights in the building turned off. Complete darkness. And in that silence, he heard it again. The footsteps. But this time, they were right behind him.
Darkness. Everything went silent. No lights, no movement, no sound. Daniel couldn't see anything. His flashlight was gone. He raised his hands in front of his face, but even that was invisible. Pure darkness. Then he felt something, a presence, right behind him. Not touching him, but close, too close. Daniel slowly turned around, and in the darkness he saw it. Two faint shapes, like eyes, watching him. A voice whispered, very slowly, "You don't belong here." Daniel's heart started pounding. "Who are you?" he asked. No answer, just silence again. Suddenly, the lights came back on. Daniel found himself standing outside the building, exactly where he started. The street was empty. No strange feeling, no darkness, no footsteps, just a normal night. The building was gone. Completely gone, as if it never existed. Daniel took a step back, breathing heavily. Was that real? He looked around. Everything felt normal again. Cars in the distance, streetlights glowing. He turned around, ready to leave, but then he noticed something. His phone, still in his hand. The screen was on. It was recording a video. Daniel frowned. "I didn't start recording." He pressed play. The video showed the inside of the building, the hallway, the doors, everything. But Daniel was not in the video. Instead, the camera was moving, walking through the hallway, like someone else was holding it. The video continued. The camera stopped in front of a door. Door number 101. It slowly opened. Inside was Daniel, standing there, looking directly at the camera. His face expressionless, not moving, not blinking, just staring. Daniel dropped the phone, stepped back in shock. "That's not me!" But then the video on the phone changed. Now it showed the street where Daniel was standing, from behind him, as if someone was recording him right now. Daniel slowly turned around. No one there, but the video was still recording. And just before the screen went black, a whisper was heard again, very close. "Now you're part of it."